4 years ago, I was teaching high school math and coaching wrestling, making $50,000 a year. Fast forward to today, I'm gonna be putting this house on the market next week and making more than 3 years of my average teacher salary just by the sale of this house. Hey everyone, it's McKeown back again with another video today. I've done a couple videos already on this house, but the time has come where it's official. Next week, I'm gonna be selling this house. If you guys are new to my channel, or maybe if you've been following for a while, this is actually the first property that I bought in terms of a single family house. I purchased a duplex as my first initial investment, then moved into this house. This house initially had great bones. The HVAC had just been replaced, the roof had just been replaced, I had a structural warranty that transferred over from foundation work. But the thing was, it was an older couple that really hadn't renovated anything in this house for probably the last 2 decades, maybe 3 decades. So my story started in November of 2017 with this house. I was actually on the market looking to move from my duplex into a traditional single family house. It was a quick move because I had purchased my duplex only in July, but I had a lot of reasons behind why I needed to move to a single family, and this one just fell into my lap. Now, this was actually a house that fell back on market. I was able to get it for a little over $200,000 to give you guys rough numbers. I'll give you some final numbers at the end of this video. But I knew that immediately I was gonna have to renovate a good amount of this house. Now, fast forward to when I moved out, I wound up renovating the entire house. And I'm gonna walk you through exactly what I did, why I did it, the numbers at the end, and kind of what I'm looking to do with the money when I am finished. Welcome to the world of real estate. So this is my first single family house. It's gonna be the first property I've actually sold, and I'm gonna walk you guys through exactly why I like this house when I purchased it, also what I did when I renovated it. First things first, upon entry of the house is a second living space, or maybe it could be a formal living space, maybe a formal dining space. The whole living area is large, so really this honestly could be used as a second living space. I did want to convert it initially for a 4th bedroom. If you can find a place in a house where you can convert something into an additional bathroom or an additional bedroom, you can definitely get a ton of additional value in the house, but the way it's laid out, it just didn't make a lot of sense. Flooring here was very, very old. I replaced the entire living room floor with this LVP, or what we call luxury vinyl plank. I made sure to tie that in with new baseboards as well as new paint. New baseboards and new paint essentially throughout the entire house. So right off the front door is your first bedroom. You can't see because I have brand new blinds in here, but both of these windows are brand new. New carpet, new paint, new baseboards, new ceiling fan, did a little bit of texture work too, updated some electrical, and redid the closet in this bedroom. There actually was a drop-down kind of 70s style laundry chute here. As you can see, this is just a wall now. We wound up extending the closet and getting rid of that access from the exterior of the bedroom. Moving into here, another small bedroom as well. I did the same exact thing here, new window, new paint, new carpet, new ceiling fan, new blinds, new baseboards. And if you walk into here, the original closet was maybe an additional foot shorter than it is now, but you've got an additional space here. I mean, my arm, it basically covers the entire length of my arm. So you got a little bit more closet in the second bedroom. Now, one of the biggest projects here was, I would say the bathrooms probably were the most outdated. This bathroom here, we essentially gutted from top to bottom. So everything you see here outside of this actual tub is brand new. Now, when I say brand new, obviously people have been renting it for 18 months, but good thing about trends is they don't come in and out very quickly. So this is still a very updated and modern bathroom. And the last but not least is the master bedroom. This is honestly where I started my real estate business, I guess 6 months after I started my real estate business. This is where I did a lot of my work. It's where me and my dog hung out when I used to let my dog actually hang out in my bedroom. I don't let her do that at my new house. But to give you guys some ideas on this, this is a closet that we actually updated. We did some barn doors here. And this is kind of a little unique swinging barn door here, where you've got even an extended area of the closet. This again got all new paint, new baseboards, new carpet, obviously new lighting here as well. However, the biggest thing in probably the entire house is got to be this right here. So this was not even here when I initially purchased the house. This was actually the master bedroom all the way to the entry of my door. So this door right here, from here all the way over was my master bedroom. So I had a rather large master bedroom. However, the master bathroom was tiny. Really all that fit in the master bathroom was a pedestal sink, a toilet, and a tiny walk-in shower. It's changed. Come take a look. Here, moving back, was all master bedroom. I thought that, hey, we can make a massive master bathroom shower, and I honestly believe it's probably one of the biggest reasons I got a ton of money in rent. So obviously you can see a huge walk-in master shower. We do indeed have a double vanity here now too, and this is the toilet here. Now to give you guys a quick idea, this actually used to be the shower. There used to be a toilet right here, and there used to be a pedestal sink here. So again, very small master bathroom that we turned into a large master bathroom. And in terms of rent, master bathrooms and probably your kitchen living area is going to be what gets you the most amount of rent. Now moving on to the living room and kitchen area, this was actually what I did very first. And I would say the master bathroom I did last. To be honest with you, I didn't even shower once in that new shower. I was at the end of the time when I was purchasing my fourplex, which was the next property I moved into, and that bathroom actually got finished after I moved out, so I never even got to use it. But this living room, I thought I was going to use it a ton. You know, being an individual that owned his own house and was moving out of a duplex, I was like, yeah, let's do the living room and kitchen first. That's going to be where I spend most of my time. Lo and behold, I spent a majority of my time in my master bedroom. But again, first things first, we replaced all of the flooring here. If you want to walk over to this fireplace, this was just a traditional 1960s, 1970s fireplace, red brick. I had someone come in and whitewash the entire thing. All of this cabinetry here is custom cabinetry with underlit lighting, and we did a new surround here with the fireplace as well. Did a little bit more wood accents or a little bit more flair here with the sliding barn door. This goes into a pantry here, and then also did on the flip side a bunch of work to the kitchen. This house was actually much smaller a couple decades ago. These two beams here were actually an addition to the house. So I'm thinking probably, you know, maybe 10 years into owning the house, someone decided to extend it. This beam right here, as well as this beam, basically were the addition to the house. So anything that you're seeing behind me was additional square feet that was added to the house at some point. Now, a majority of the houses on this street are about 1,200, 1,300 square feet. What's going to help me in terms of getting additional value is my house is actually almost 1,900 square feet. So one thing about an addition of a home is obviously it's going to have some quirks with it. One of the quirks was we had all carpet in here. We could tell that there was a little bit of a lip in the carpet. I actually have some previous photos I'll show you. You could see from that countertop all the way to the edge of the fireplace here, you really were elevated if you stood right here versus if you stood just a couple feet forward. Now, what we did, if you're not aware of being able to do this, in order to level the floor and put LVP down, we had to basically do self-leveler and hardy backers underneath here to make this flush. So now it's basically one just level floor. You really can't tell that, you know, it's poured separately, like the addition was poured separately, so it looks great. Now, another thing that was done here as well was it was a very old kitchen. This actually, all of this cabinetry here was not original, but we went ahead and painted it, did new countertops, obviously did new floating shelves, new hardware. Now this part of the kitchen was really original to an extent. Now there was cabinetry above here. All of this cabinetry is still the same cabinetry, and I can tell you firsthand, if you can keep cabinets, do, because cabinets are not cheap. We went ahead and tore down the cabinets up here because I knew I had a whole bunch over there, put two pendants down, did new granite countertops, did a whole new sink and countertops on the back, did new backsplash, and called it a day with a kitchen. And on the dining space, we obviously did a little bit more modern of a look for the lighting and really called it a day when it comes to the interior of the house. And the very last thing that I did here was the garage. Now the garage, when I purchased it, had no sheetrock whatsoever on the walls. So we went ahead and did all new sheetrock, new texture, new baseboards, went ahead and epoxied the floor, and it looks like a brand new garage. Now, there has been some wear and tear on the garage just because the tenant's been living here for 18 months. There was a little bit of nicks and dings on the floor, as well as I had to have my cleaner completely wash out that wall because there was a ton of exhaust, just debris on the wall. But at the end of the day, when it comes to a garage, I don't think it's something that's going to hold someone back from purchasing a house. Now, this was actually my first instance of remodeling a house. I did have a duplex before that, and I did a little bit of work, maybe replacing a sliding glass door, maybe replacing some carpet, but this was a substantial amount of work to be done before I moved out. It was also the first time I had any kind of experience with contractors, and I'll give you a rundown there. So first things first, I hired someone for this fireplace. It wound up being pretty good, but the entire process of going with them was at a snail's pace. And then I know I needed a ton of work to be done on the bathrooms in my master bathroom. I wound up hiring someone, and this is just the downside of paying someone up front when it comes to contracting work, is he just stole my money. To give you more details on that, it was a friend of a friend, and I trusted that friend. Lo and behold, that individual that did very little work went ahead and took the money and ruined both of our friendships. But I went ahead and found another contractor to finish that work out before I moved out. I did wind up paying retail for all of the work that's been done in the kitchen area and the living area, meaning the floor, leveling the floor, busting out the cabinets, doing all the new countertop and whatnot. My advice is definitely don't pay retail if you have the connections, but paying retail is definitely going to be better than paying someone that you aren't sure of and then them just stealing your money at the end of the day. Now, you may be living in a single family that needs to be renovated, or maybe you purchased a multifamily that needs to be renovated as well, or maybe you're just looking at house hack. Let me know. I can definitely get you connected with someone in your local area. But when it comes to this particular house, I knew that everything needed to be remodeled. Now, if you're in a position where you just need bedrooms updated, it's going to be probably a smaller cost. I think each one of these bedrooms costed me about $1,500, maybe $2,000 for a new window, new paint, new baseboards, new carpet, and just all around remodeling each bedroom. Now, the master bath obviously cost a lot more because of the master bathroom. And then when you start involving, the kitchen area, living area and whatnot, that's where the big expenses are. I think between the two bathrooms and the kitchen living area, it was anywhere between $20,000 and $25,000. Total rehab cost on this was about $30,000 to $35,000. So I purchased this house for $215,000. I did have a grant at the time. It was a 3% down conventional loan, with 2% of that being actually paid from the lender. So I wound up only paying about $2,150 in terms of my down payment, plus some closing costs. However, I was obviously at the time a licensed real estate agent and got paid 3% commission on the back end. So really, in terms of initial investment, it's a wash at the end of the day. Now, the rehab cost is obviously going to vary depending on which way I want to look at it and which way you guys may want to look at it. I did have some money taken from me, so whether or not you want to include that. I also, had some ups and downs in terms of working with contractors. At the end of the day, I'm putting my rehab costs total about $35,000. So $215,000 purchase, $35,000 in rehab. You're talking about $250,000 down. Now the payoff, about 3.5 years after owning it, is slightly under $200,000. Now, I do have $35,000 of my own money that I invested in this property with the remodel. I actually have been renting it out for the last 18 months. Mortgage is roughly about $1,800. Rent is about $2,550. So over the course of about 18 months, I made between $13,000 and $14,000 in cash flow. Now you may be asking, well, Casey, obviously you had repairs that you had to keep up with, right? Like you had to do anything that your tenant may ask. To be honest with you, these tenants were great and had one request that entire 18 months. It was a $500 garage door repair. So still between or close to about $13,000 in cash flow. In addition to the cash flow is obviously my pay down on my note. I don't have a substantial amount of pay down on my note because it was a higher interest rate with the fact that I took that grant. But I do have a little bit each month being paid towards principal. Also, when you pay taxes, it's definitely a tax write-off in terms of expenses. I can write that off as well. However, there wasn't a ton of expenses. Now fast forward to our market today. So this is going on the market on Thursday. My list price right now as coming soon is $349,900, and I've had probably 5 or 6 people reach out to me asking me when it's going to be put on the market. My hope and expectation is to at least sell it for $350,000. I can almost assure myself with the market that we're in now, it's going to go above list, and I do have to pay some realtor commissions on that end, maybe pay some title policy and additional closing costs. So my hope is that it sells enough above $350,000 to cover really all of those costs. My final, at the end of the day, I want to net is $350,000. So my debt pay down is under $200,000. I believe it's at $197,000. If I sell this for $350,000, I'm going to be walking away with this house with a check for over $150,000. Now, obviously, all of that is not complete appreciation and just positive net from this house. Again, I have $35,000 of my own money. I also put a 1% down payment initially on it, even though I did get paid commission on the back end, so I don't really include that. But to get a check for almost 3 years of teaching, if not more than 3 years of teaching, for just purchasing a house and remodeling it, to me is just absolutely surreal. Now, I do have another video on what my plans are with that money. I'm going to be actually purchasing a 5-unit townhome apartment complex, which I'm in the works of doing so right now. But to be able to net that much from something I purchased almost 4 years ago, it's a little bit crazy to me. Now, obviously, the housing market has a huge role to play here. Initially, when I purchased this house and the work that I did, I wanted to sell it for about $300,000. Now I'm going to be selling it for probably $360,000 or $365,000. So thankfully I purchased it when I did, but that's just part of real estate, is you purchase a house and generally it's going to appreciate. If you purchase a car, it's not going to appreciate. That's why I've spent so much time in the last 4 years diving so much into real estate, because I can see firsthand the impact that it can have in someone's life. Thanks again for watching, guys. I just passed 1,000 subscribers, and I really do want to send a huge thank you to all of you that have been here from the beginning and all of the new subscribers that have come on board since. It really does mean a ton that you guys have consistently watched my videos, and I look forward to making more content in the future. But make sure to like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and stay tuned for the next video.